Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining Archangel Alts, crypto in the news. And today, let me make sure I have everything set up. Yes, my voice is going. Yes, I have it on full screen. Very good. So, going to do something that came up. I'm going to send you a link to the most recent live trading without a net in the description, and you'll find that it is relevant to this. So starting with the latest news on Binance, Binance will delist CLOAK, MOD, SALT, SUB, and WINGS. I think at one point I mentioned there being 4 delistings, but there's actually 5. So that is like 0.5% of the entire market, I think, if I'm doing my math right, that is available to trade on Binance. Well, less than that. Let's see. If we had 100 coins and one of them was gone, that would be 1%. So this is actually maybe closer to 2 or 3%. I'm okay with them trimming the shrubs. I understand their reason to try to keep things safe and smart. Other exchanges could use a wink, a nod in the same direction. I have recommended a few times to Binance, and I know that they responded via forum and via direct recommendations, email stuff. But I don't think they're going to change this methodology. So I think that it's a bit of a bad move on their behalf to do a knee-jerk version of this. I think that what they should have is a public, transparent 3-month review. Every 3 months they should put every single coin that's listed on the chopping block, and they should put out notices for them to communicate about their commitment of their team to their project, the level of quality of development activity, their network and smart contract stability, level of public communication, responsiveness to their periodic due diligence requests, evidence of unethical or fraudulent conduct, contribution to a healthy and sustainable crypto ecosystem. All right, if that is in fact the truth, that these guys were not following that level of quality, it'd be good for them to have an opportunity in front of everybody who trades their coins to stand up for themselves or make it really obvious over a longer period of time that they're going to be delisted. Doing a knee jerk for people who are trading coins, not a great idea. So a couple of our friends who have been following us before our launch, SCB and Technologic, made me aware while I was so busy trading. They knew that I wasn't able to follow this news, and that's something that I should always do, and I will always advise other people to do the same. So take your own advice, would you, Guy? Yes. But it was really fun. We had SCB on the air. We had an actual on the air, so that was really cool. And then I know he followed that. So I kind of took a vote from them, like, do we want to go a little bit crazy and take some risks just to see whether we can, squeeze something out of our position before it went down further. So out of the 2 different places that we trade from, I like to keep one thing open in the client window, one thing going in the browser. And from both of those accounts, one of them had none of these coins, thank you, Lord. And the other account just had one single position, a very old position in modem. And so, we went from, I think, a little over 100 to around 30 something. So we were able to get $30 out of it, and now we're not concerned anymore. So we tried to get it around 700. We did exactly that. And let me show you what a good decision that was. Go to mod, and it is now trading at 588. So that would have started to bring us down to $20 or so. Part of the risk is not just whether you get any of your money back at all, but the fact that once it drops below, $10, $11 worth of what can be traded from it, you'd be stuck. Now, the other option would be to withdraw into a wallet and just kind of let it sit, as opposed to worrying about it being delisted. The issue with that is that there's only one other place that this particular coin was being traded. Like 90% of everything that it does is on Binance. So there's really nowhere to go that made any sense to us at all. So we had fun, kind of making this an experiment and a teaching lesson. I had literally just this episode for the first time mentioned the last time that there was a delisting. There were 4 coins. Exactly the same thing happened. We had that same day, one of the 4 coins that was being delisted months ago, we had literally just made profit on it and cleared out of it earlier that day. Two of them we didn't have any activity, and one of them we had one position. We lost about $40 in Bitcoin World, and we made it back the same day. We actually had a really good trading day, kind of early on, where it was very difficult for us to earn in the dollars as we're growing our trade sizes. So same kind of experience this time. We only had one account that had one of five, and in that one we lost about $70, and we'll make it up in a short time. We're not going to worry about it. So really interesting stuff. The timing of that is just kind of hard to beat the way that worked. Full screen, make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so yes, all trading pairs will be automatically removed after trading ceases in each respective trading pair. That's going to happen on the 22nd is the end of that stuff. And then people will be able to withdraw up until that time. So we're going to go to other latest news because I believe they're about to launch something else. And this can affect your trades as well. They're doing a token sale, coin drop. This is actually, that's their latest news, but this is actually more important to me over here. So, people beware of BTT. Please listen to me on that. It's at 26, and the longer that it sits at lower volume, guess what happens? It's going to be really tough. So if you got in at 27 and 28, hats off to you. People with 1,100 BTC worth of trading did exactly that. Okay, so Binance will open trading on ONG BNB, ONG BTC, and ONG USDT trading pairs. That's going to happen just in a day. Users can now start depositing ONG in preparation for trading. Ontology gas listing fee 0 BNB. Something that I find interesting about this is that I was wondering why there was a sudden spike in ONT. Well, I'm pretty sure that that's how this stuff works. Now let's go and take a look. So this is info Binance currencies ontology gas. Looks like it's worth 49 cents right now. Nice. A single red line. Okay. Nope, that doesn't tell me a whole heck of a lot about it. Let me see if this is the same page. Yes, that's the same page. So let's learn about this together. Ontology gas. Okay. That's the ONT to ONG, ontology, price chart. Ontology gas. Brand new ontology gas calculator. Apparently calculating it is a really big deal. Binance, CoinMarketCap, staking calculator. Okay, I'm going to learn more about that on the side. Risk warning, cryptocurrency. They always put this. So there will be a listing for this, and I believe that there's a connection to the fluctuation on ONT. Ours, we currently have to double it from our very old position. In one of them, we have to slightly more than double it from our old position, which will be just fine and dandy. No problem at all. Give it time. So lots of good market motion happening in the news. This is Archangel Alts crypto in the news. Guys, please join our community. In there, you will see a link in the video description to go join us. Please do so. You really want to. I know you do. You can join for free. We're going to have our news. We're going to do some live trading eventually once we have the right signups and our subs. The live trading is going to be much more training and instruction and following our trades. And as the market picks up as well, we're going to just really, we're going to get very, very, very deep into advanced training. You're going to learn things that you will not get elsewhere. Right now, we're making all of that available for free. So please come and sign up. Come join our community. Be a voice. That's what's missing. Your voice is missing right now. So come, speak, well, type. All right, so this comes to us from CNBC. Fidelity just made it easier for hedge funds and other pros to invest in cryptocurrencies. Fidelity Investments, and let me do what I should be doing, which is to check the date. This was originally published in October, and it's been updated a few times. That's why I thought it seemed familiar. Fidelity Investments, yes, with their little Illuminati thing going on here. All right, Fidelity Investments, which administers more than $7.2 trillion in client assets, announced a new and separate company called Fidelity Digital Asset Services. Firm will handle custody for cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and will execute trades on multiple exchanges for investors, such as hedge funds and family offices. Other crypto companies have debuted similar products, but Fidelity is the first Wall Street incumbent to officially provide cryptocurrency solutions such as custody. Our goal is to make digitally native assets, such as Bitcoin, more accessible to investors. Now, what they're saying is that they're going to represent it in a not just digital capacity. Custody meaning that you can do things like hedging against and with. Our goal is to make digitally native assets which have been more accessible. We expect to continue investing and experimenting over the long term, with ways to make this emerging asset class easier for our clients to understand and use. Okay, the best way to do that is to let it be the way that it is and explain it to them. But as an intermediary, they're going to be able to make fees no matter whether Bitcoin goes up or down, trading on their behalf, and that's part of what I'm not really a huge fan of. So let's go ahead and watch this. I saw this and I thought it was interesting. I'm going to just put it right in the center of this crypto in the news.
Because it's Bitcoin. It has no fundamental value. We're in the middle of this great unraveling of this colossal bubble. And I think that people are going to, the only thing that they have going for them if they're long is hope. And Jackie, we know that hope is a horrible strategy.
Him saying basically Bitcoin goes to zero is crazy. You know, the target of 5950, if we do break that 6,000 level, I'm definitely concerned about that we go down and we push even farther through that target. That would be a little concerning to me. But I think we're in inning 3 or 4 here of a bottoming process from the bubble that Scott talked about that popped and burst and came back down. When you look at the value of what a currency means, it's the number of transactions that take place and the size of transactions. And when we have Overstock.com accepting Bitcoin, when you have places like Subway, Starbucks coming online accepting Bitcoin, McDonald's may be doing that, the number of transactions will be increasing over the next year or so.
I'm surprised people think Bitcoin can never reach its old highs. I mean, we have to remember today there's not even 50 million wallets that use crypto today, but there's 4.5 billion Visa cards. So, this is the earliest days for crypto, and I don't think 20,000 is going to be a problem in the future.
Bitcoin is no longer, or at least last December, wasn't usable for commerce at all. The fees became high, the transactions became slow and unreliable, and people like myself and everybody else that was trying to actually use it for commerce stopped and switched to something else. And that something else looks most likely to be Bitcoin Cash for the most number of people. And very, very clear that all the adoption and the merchants and all sorts of businesses are being built on top of Bitcoin Cash at this point. So for the future, I think Bitcoin Cash is the best investment standpoint. But I don't recommend anybody, don't put all of your investments into cryptocurrency and don't put all of your cryptocurrency investment into one single cryptocurrency.
So what does your crypto portfolio look like right now, Roger?
I hold more Bitcoin Cash than anything else, but I have some Ether, I have some Zcash, some Zcoin, some Monero, some Dash, and I still hold some BTC as well.
Extreme euphoria in November and December, and we got way ahead of ourselves in terms of like this insane tulip-like spike. Everybody realizes that. What I think is happening now is all this infrastructure is being built for institutional investors to come into cryptocurrencies. All these lingering issues around how do they manage custody, how do they deal with certain SEC regulatory issues and other investment rights issues in the US, those issues are being worked out now. And I predict that as institutional money makes its way, therefore, into the crypto space, watch out. Right? It's not going to take a lot because it's still a relatively new asset class. When was the last time planet Earth had a new asset class?
I can tell you just anecdotally, the institutional herd is starting to move their feet a little bit. They've taken a lot.
When was the last time that planet Earth had a new asset class?
Longer than I expected. I'm a little blue in the face from holding my breath until they get here, but it's starting to happen.
When you take a look at the volatility, I mean the up and down movement of the price of Bitcoin, we've really seen it come down. Last year, a year ago, that thing was trading twice as fast, up and down as it is now. And when you look back to 2016, the level of volatility was actually normalized near that.
Okay, during the spike, it lived at $19,000 for like a millisecond.
Of an investment in the equities market. I think if we continue to get that subsiding in volatility down towards what it's like to trade in equity, I think people will get behind Bitcoin, and I think you'll see it rally just like it did 2 years ago.
You're seeing lots of activity in private markets. Matter of fact, it was a complete bear market in coins, a disastrous bear market in coins. But in privates, you would never have known. It was a bull market. It's been a bull market in talent. And it's also a bull market in institutions building the infrastructure needed for real money investors to start investing in coin.
Do you want the big banks, institutions, Congress, SEC to be the ones that build the infrastructure? Or do you want the teams that are working it right now, the ones that have been developing it through cryptography, to be the ones that are able to succeed in making it?
And so I think 3 to 6 months from now, there'll be the all clear sign for people to start, big institutions and pensions to start investing.
My greatest concern is that the U.S. loses competitiveness. I mean, I've spent the last year flying around the world, and I can just tell you the U.S. is already behind. I don't think they're fatally behind, but we are already behind. There's much more adoption going on in Asia. What I think is interesting, what you're seeing here, and what we saw from the Coinbase announcement, is that they are both struggling with the clarity around the U.S. rules.
And we have trouble figuring out what if something is or is not a security. So I think right now that's our first challenge, is to get some clarity on that, because once you figure out if something is or is not a security, then you can figure out all the different rules and regulations that apply. For us,
let me ask you, how many people have you heard call it crypto security?
And the way that I think the entire group at the roundtable today views most of these assets is they're not securities and should not be regulated with the same type of regulation that the SEC brings to the table.
All right, so we saw that there were certain things institutions needed that only a firm like Fidelity could provide, adding that it already works with 13,000 institutional clients. We've got some technology that were repurposed from other parts of the Fidelity. We can leverage all of these resources of a big organization. You can read the rest of this yourself. I'm going to have the links to everything. Thank you for the sources. Thank you to the sources for providing these sources. All right, so Bitcoin bull Tom Lee predicted a $25,000 milestone in December. His firm just set a target of 2,200, 2,270 in Q1 of 2019. Okay, I've been saying 2,800 is going to be the bottom for about 4 months, 5 months. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I want to see it go ahead and bounce before it gets to there, but the shorting is the thing that's actually going on. There was no problem with the health of the market rebounding until the hard fork and stable coins were dumped in the same week into the market. Those transitions have been the reason that it split in half. Nobody's reporting it that way. Nobody seems to understand that that's the case. Fundstrat, I don't know, Fundstrat. Tom Lee had predicted Bitcoin price to touch the $25,000 mark by the end of 2018, the November crash. And that kind of proves that that's not enough to make it happen, right? That's the way that people are saying. People had been talking up Bitcoin on Turkey Day the previous year. That's why it went to 19,000, and then they were upset that it went down so much that they didn't say anything about Turkey Day, about Bitcoin on Turkey Day in 2018 instead of 2017. The new year also did not bring much relief to the digital currency closed this year just shy of 3,800 according to CoinMarketCap.com. The new year also did not bring much relief to the Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market. The industry entered its most extended bear cycles in February 2019 according to Fundstrat. It is heading lower shortly. The bullish turned bearish market research firm said in an email to Bloomberg that Bitcoin could now fall below its current bottom level near 3,100. Fundstrat downside target towards 2,200. So let's draw a line and then draw a line, and of course there you go. Of course that's what's going to happen. Interesting, and I'd like that not to be the case. Prefer not to have a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I think 2,800 is likely. The number 10, 40, and 250 reflects the ranking cryptocurrencies in the index, et cetera, et cetera. So when you are predicting that it's going to go down, again, read the rest of this for yourself. I'll have the link in the video description. So where will cryptocurrency be in the next 5 to 10 years? Hacker Noon really, really kind of an amazing and insightful site. Cryptocurrency isn't all just Lambos and spaceship memes. There are some real world changing technologies at play here. So everything will be fast. You want to send your money back home to grandma who lives on the other side of the world, and probably just send her $5,000, and it only took 4 seconds and cost you less than a cent to do so. That sounds wonderful. Sounds great. Everyone will use cryptocurrencies whether they are aware of it or not. Absolutely believe that's the case. Banks will accept and integrate cryptocurrencies. This is my prediction of what should happen, but because of greed, it's probably going to be more like the JP Morgan thing. We'll see. We'll see. But what I would love to see is that there is an asset class part of everybody's free checking accounts, meaning that you have, when you open an account, you have your account by that account's number and your name, and you can bank online 24 hours like we already can, except for when the banks don't want to have access to your money, want you to have access. But when you open that account, you'll also have what would be considered like the current top 7, top 10. You'd have Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, and maybe a couple of others, with the option of plus drop down list others that you might already own. Because why would the banks not want to gather fee structure? Let's say they do 35 cents a transaction, and anything is a transaction over $100. No big deal if you could keep track of your portfolio through something that was actually FDIC insured. That would make a whole lot of sense. So you have a single account with whatever bank or banks that you're working with. They're able to track it for tax purposes, which is going to get tougher to avoid anyway. And so let's not give them a reason to try to decouple decentralization. But wouldn't it be cool if you could have your representation of your address, and instead of worrying about the whole public key, private key thing, you have an insurance against theft if something were to happen accidentally to your coins. Let the banks handle the transaction, let them make their fees, and that's the way to standardize and to broaden the adoption rate versus future contracts shorting Bitcoin, which is very clearly devaluing Bitcoin. The fact that it pushes back up $20, $30 is some of the public getting involved. That's a big deal. But the other day, we were able to see 60 million turn to $140 million at 24-hour volume on Binance. So it's possible. Crypto credit debit cards, absolutely. There's no question. Final thoughts. We haven't even scratched the surface of what cryptocurrencies are capable of. All the things mentioned in this answer are a fraction of the things cryptocurrency will be used for. No question. Just imagine the medical industry and all the different things that are coming. So really, smart person. They're looking at the right things. They're asking the right questions. We don't agree on everything, but that's all right. They're very, very smart. So these are the main things that I want to cover in this little segment. Just a note to self, pay more attention to the Binance news. There's delistings and listings happening within the same 2-day spread. And CZ, the head of Binance, is just a fantastic person from a business perspective. Hopefully I'm not, talking up the wrong person. Hopefully he won't end up being a long-term hypocrite. Overall, things are looking, what I look at is a good day is a tradable day. Everything else is questionable. So we've had some good luck and a little bit of trouble with the delisting stuff. Really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme. It's just a matter of, it makes the point that you don't want to hodl all these different coins because some of them are going to go away. So trimming the hedges a little bit is fine, but make us part of the process. Let us know before it happens so we don't have to lose in the process. All right, guys, thank you for following Crypto in the News. Make sure and check out all the different things that we've got going on with this stuff. We're going to go into live trading mode very soon. It is 1:18 p.m. February 15th, 2019 Eastern Standard Time. And sometime before the afternoon is out, we're going to start our live trading. Just looking for the right opportunity to get in and to make things interesting for you. We're still holding a little bit. We're not too thrilled about our first hold. IOST is going to take some time, I believe, unless it goes ahead and pops. It's been there before. It'll be there again. And it depends on BTC because it was locking and then unlocking in sync with Bitcoin. So we're going to go over all that stuff. Please join our community, archangelalts.com. It's in the description. Just click there. Join for free. I will personally set you up in the group, and we're bringing all these things together, and we want to communicate with you. We want to have discussions, and we're going to grow very quickly in the space. So get in the ground level. We will be shifting when it's the right time, the live trading without a net over to our paid section because we're going to be doing more advanced trading. Right now I'm keeping it a little bit on the surface because I want to make sure that everybody's coming in and can learn from our basic tutorials that we're going to be adding. Is all going to be just so incredibly cool, and thank you for joining along. Thanks for watching this. Please subscribe to us on YouTube and ring the bell so you get notices. We're going to be putting up videos regularly, and we just want you to be a part of things. So come join us, join our community, stay abreast of things with YouTube. And that is all for now. Archangel Alts out.